What can I say? Sometimes it's easier that way. And what can I do?
I guess you could call Sodom into the Destroyer adjacent as well, which is basically Ultraman without the kaiju. It's all normal size, but this alien robot police officer gets smashed, and this dude finds the head, puts the head on, and armors him up, and then he gets a boken, the one with wooden swords, and it enhances it, and it smacks the monsters, and it captures them in like energy balls and sends them back to the prison planet.
I know.
And then the last like 10 episodes involve time travel and time loops, and it gets really dumb. But
let me guess, he's the original robot that gets smashed.
No, he's not. But it involves like the robot. He send a message to its past self. I don't even know. It got complicated, and I just lost the plot. I wanted to see him smack monsters in the head with a stick.
Two shows that would be Sentai they're Sentai adjacent because they've got the mecha part down pat. Would have been Big O.
I was going to suggest that.
See,
and Big O and Gigantor.
See, like the Big O and Gigantor stuff. Like once again, like you take like the Gundams and the Martian successor Nadescas, and like because like Mecha is kind of even its own animal. But
I enjoy Mecha.
I'm not the world's biggest Mecha solo fan. I like Big O. I thought Big O was great. We could almost do a Mecha episode. One more. So we're talking about Guyver and Ultraman, and I've complained about this before, but Netflix has an Ultraman series out. I've seen its first 7 episodes. Not one kaiju fight in an Ultraman series.
Yeah, that's dumb.
Not
Come on.
one.
Then what the hell are they fighting?
Normal-sized aliens.
That's
He
not.
never grows.
That's no.
Is he called Ultraman?
It's called, and it's allegedly a direct sequel to the original 1966 series.
No,
And-
it's not.
And he
No.
has, like, instead of the spacium beam, he has spacium blades that come out his side.
Yeah, this
And
is
it's
an Ultraman.
and it's ultra violent.
It's Guyver.
It's the fucking Guyver. Just call it Guyver. It's not Ultraman.
No, it's not Ultraman.
If he doesn't fight kaiju, it's not Ultraman. Netflix.
You went
Go
7
to hell.
episodes without a kaiju fight, it's not Ultraman.
I mean, I don't know, maybe like episode 15 is a kaiju fight, but if I'm 7 episodes in and he hasn't fought one Godzilla, it's not Ultraman.
if I'm 3 episodes in and he hasn't fought a kaiju, it's not
If you're
Ultraman.
1 episode in and he hasn't fought a kaiju, it's not Ultraman.
Okay, so from angry rants and ultraviolence, let's shift things around a bit
And we're gonna end it?
with Princess Guinevere and the Jewel Riders.
Okay.
I'm so lost.
Don't worry.
I'm lost on
before
this
your,
one too.
Before your time. It was
Always before my time.
The new Ultraman series, isn't it? Don't watch it, it sucks.
I'll watch it now. I'll go home and
I
watch
mean, you
it.
can watch it by all means, but
But,
it sucks.
Princess Guinevere and the Jewel Riders was a medieval fantasy Arthurian myth where it's like using magic gemstones, Guinevere and her friends do their like armor transformation things and fight mystic garbage. It might actually have been close to the magical girl. But you know what? Arthur and the Knights of Justice.
Yes!
That's Sentai.
Yes, it is. Arthur and the Knights of Justice was the best. And I'm not even kidding. No hyperbole. It had the best theme song of any show
Oh, it's
ever.
such an earworm.
Oh my god, it is the best. It's got like this hard rock or like,
And the premise, I loved it. The war against Mordred's army is advancing on Camelot. Arthur and the original Knights of the Round Table cannot be found.
They were captured in Crystal by Morgana.
Okay, there we go. But Merlin, desperate for heroes, casts a spell to peer through space and time to find someone they could use.
So they get knights from the modern day.
That sounds familiar.
You find Knights from the modern day as a football team called the Knights.
This sounds familiar.
Maybe it
The
was
quarterback of which happens to be named Arthur.
So they summon them back in time, and then they are human. But then when they have to fight, they all put their hands on the round table, and I do not remember the oath.
But they get super magic armor.
I have to now, sorry. But yes.
Oh, you go on your phone to find the super oath, but not the name of the guy we were talking about earlier.
Yep, and it's by the way, it's Arkham Fox.
Okay.
So there you go. My messenger, he just popped up on it.
I figured it. Phone soft.
But Arthur and Knights of Justice, that was fun.
They had their weapons on their insignia on their chest, and they pull them out. Like Arthur had Excalibur, he'd draw.
He also had a dragon shield.
His shield their shields had animals that they'd summon. Like his is the dragon. Then one guy named Brick he could make walls of bricks.
That's like.
No, it's fucking awesome.
Well, they always placed it well.
It's I am King Arthur, and we are the Knights of Justice. We pledge fairness to all, to defend the weak, and vanquish the evil. And then their armor would suit them up, and they would go out and fight the armies of Mordred and Morgana.
Was there a rival character?
Well,
They had warlords.
No.
You meant the
In the team.
Lance.
Lance.
As in Lancelot, Lance. He was just Lance.
Who had a lance.
Yes.
Was he a really big rival?
Oh yes,
to
he was a
Arthur?
rival to Arthur. He filled the role well.
Okay.
He had a spear that shot lightning bolts.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Once again, the series is actually a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Well, in the original Arthurian myth, Lancelot Borders on anti-hero, so that's why I asked.
I think I'm out. Are you out? Should we talk about the last one?
We might as well, but I guess I can't think of any right off the bat, and I'll kick myself if I do, but it's okay. Let's just finish it off.
Tattooed teenage alien fighters from Beverly Hills.
Tattooed teenage alien
yes.
fighters from Beverly Hills.
The fuck?
It was an original American Sentai series.
100% American live action.
Presented on the USA Network. I always caught it early in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it
I'd
aired
catch it
any
like
other time.
right before we get the bus to school.
But these 4 or 5
There were 4.
teenagers from Beverly Hills obtained, I don't know if it was mystical or technological, I can't remember.
It was an alien.
But they get, I know that their powers and armor were based off of the zodiac signs.
Kind of.
Vaguely.
There was, I think, Taurus and...
Oh, that's Zodiac sign. I thought it was Chinese.
No, American. There was Taurus and I think maybe Aries.
The ram?
And then, I think... And then there was one that was an arrow with a line through it.
That's
Sagittarius.
But it wasn't. It was Archer. And then
the Sagittarius is also known as the Archer.
Sagittarius
But-
is known as the Archer, but
the sign is Sagittarius. He is the Archer, but the sign is Sagittarius. And the last one was 3 wavelly lines.
Aquarius.
No, it was Apollo. You're wrong.
Oh, no, that's not Aquarius. That's Pisces, actually.
No, 3 wavy lines is Aquarius.
Is it?
Pisces is
Yeah.
two
I thought Aquarius is
bowed.
the jar with 3 lines.
Yeah. But it's bowed with a line across
But it still wasn't bloody Apollo.
It wasn't.
It was freaking not Apollo.
But anyway,
Oh my god.
I spent my middle
Wait a
school
minute,
years.
what?
I spent my middle school years thinking that was the zodiac sign for Apollo.
No.
but for all of its failings, I liked it for the stuff that they got right. I felt that the main villain was one of the smartest villains you see in these series.
Well,
I'm stuck on the Apollo thing.
Yeah.
it was bad. It was bad, but he wanted Earth specifically because it was the energy lines, basically universal ley lines. Earth was a nexus. He had to get Earth because it would allow him to use warp gates to send across the universe.
It was a good staging point for the rest of his invasion.
And also, he would pull his monsters back before they got destroyed so he could reuse them.
Yeah, that was actually smart. I loved that. When his monsters were defeated, he'd actually suck them back before they were killed.
And I think there had something to do with the gates he used, that he could only have one monster on Earth at a time. He had to, tether them, and he could only have one tether. So he couldn't. Because you're always like, why didn't Rita just send 15 monsters at the Power Rangers at one time?
This series actually addressed why.
How?
Because I'm not destroying all my monsters. You.
Look, I think after about 4 or 5 of my monsters being destroyed, if I was Rita, I'd be like, Finster, give me like 18 monsters. And while they're fighting, keep building the monsters. Just keep them up. Send them down until the Rangers are too tired to fight. Everybody you've got, I'm just a one big invasion. I'm not doing this monster of the week shit anymore.
That's what I want. I want like a Power Rangers where the Power Rangers lose because someone's like, you know what? Fuck this shit.
If you're a fan of comics at all, read Shattered Grid. It was an interesting mini-series of Power Rangers. At least at first, for like 10% of the that's like 90% of the comic, the Rangers lost. They come back to win in the end. Duh.
Well, yeah, I'm fine with that.
The whole premise of Shattered Grid involved alternate dimensions, where in alternate dimension, evil Tommy Oliver, the original Green Ranger, actually also obtains the White Ranger power at the same time.
Oh dear God.
And defeats his universe's Rita Repulsa and absorbs her magic.
Oh dear God.
And then proceeds to start invading the other dimensions, killing the Rangers that oppose him and converting the Rangers that choose to follow him into loyal soldiers for his army. And yeah, Lord Drakon was terrifying.
That sounds awesome.
It is kind of awesome.
I think I don't think it got fully up into a fan movie, but at some point they were doing a fan Power Rangers movie where like Lord Zed had won. I don't think it ever got developed into a full movie, but they were trying to like basically Kickstarter it before Kickstarter was a thing. Just they did a proof of concept trailer and were trying to get funding, and I don't think it ever did fully get turned into like a YouTube film or anything. It didn't get Kung Fury or anything. I just want to call it when a fan movie gets made as being Kung Fury, because that's like
a fan movie.
Yeah, it's just the dude. He's just like he opened up a Kickstarter and said, "I want to make like the 80s, the 80th 80 movie that's ever 80s," and he made Kung Fury with the money he got from Kickstarter.
It is glorious. I love Kung Fury, but
I don't care for it. It's too much reference and not enough meat. It just feels like
same movie. What was Kung Fury again?
I turned my brain off for that.
But
you might have been confusing it with Kung Pao Into the Fist.
Yeah, Kung Pao Enter the Fist was just a... Kung Pao Enter the Fist is almost just what Power Rangers is. Just took this footage from a Kung Fu movie and just redubbed it with English stuff.
Wait, the guy actually put mercury in his hands? That was a secret?
No, they took a Kung Fu movie and dubbed a lot of American footage and jokes and stuff into it. Like, the actor is not the main character from the original movie. They put him into the movie. But like a lot of the like background footage is from I don't remember what the movie is, but like a Kung Fu movie.
That makes a lot more sense now. That makes it more funny for me.
So I do know, I think of both Kung Fury and Kung Pao Into the Fist. But one I'm thinking of probably isn't.
You go pee.
I don't know if it is or isn't.
Just give us 10 minutes and we'll go pee, okay?
Because the one I keep thinking of that I really like, the one you described as Kung Pao Under the Fist.
Mm-hmm.
I know that one,
mm-hmm.
and I didn't like it. It was the one with the talking tongue?
Yes.
Did not like that one.
And where he fought a cow.
Yes.
And then milked it.
But when you said that, I thought Kung Pao Under the Fist, it's not, was another movie that may be Kung Fury.
Mm-hmm. Does the guy hack time?
No.
Okay, that happens in Kung Fury.
Okay, the other one the one I'm thinking of, okay, it's definitely not then. And this is not Sentai at all. This is a Kung Fu movie. So
We've kind of lost that thread.
That's okay, we'll have one more before we quit.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, no, just go
you're
ahead.
still thinking about the whatever.
Yeah, tell us what this...
The other movie is It's made by the same guy who made Shaolin Stalkers.
Yeah, it's not.
All right.
I can not think of much. Axe Gang is one of the main antagonists.
Axe Gang? I have no idea.
I can't help you. But anyway, I did think of one more Sentai show that we can use to close this out. The Samurai Pizza Cats.
Oh, yeah.
I like how their armor came off and got replaced with identical armor.
Yes, because it was knocking off the whole thing. Yeah.
The Ginsu Katana.
The Gensu swords. Oh, it was, yeah, because it was one sheath. Pulled out, turned it around,
And
pulled it,
blood
got the sword
was
out of the other end.
And it would turn into a weird double sword.
Dark all that shit up.
What?
Dark all that shit up.
So
Yeah.
the double sword's a stupid weapon. It's a terrible weapon, and no one should ever use it. I know why they gave Darth Maul a double sword.
Because the guy who played him was a staff
Ray Park, and he is like one of the best staff fighters in the world.
Yep.
And he did phenomenal.
Yes, he did. Ray
Oh,
Park
hell
is a
yeah.
badass. Ray Park, I don't know, he's probably still alive. Ray Park is a badass, so it's like, man, we gotta give him something to let him do his staff stuff. So they gave him the double.
I believe when they did Darth Maul again in all these various different series, I think they got Ray Park for the voice acting.
Possibly.
They did bring him back in some of the animated Star Wars movies.
Yeah, but I thought they brought him back because they used mocap and they just mocapped him.
That's possible. That's entirely possible. They might have just mocapped him. That'd be smart if they're gonna have Darth.
But then again, I don't know what he sounds like because he didn't talk in the first episode.
He did speak in the first movie, just barely. He said, "We will finally reveal ourselves to the Jedi. At last, we'll have our revenge."
He was not. Which one was it? He was in one of those fighting game movies. King of the Fighters, I believe. He was the villain in that one. I believe it was King of the Fighters. It wasn't Dead or Alive. That was Eric Roberts was the villain in Dead or Alive.
Another Dead Alive video movie.
You know what the Dead or Alive movie is? What when you think of Dead or Alive, what are the two things that come to mind?
Hot girls and fighting.
And that is what the Dead or Alive movie is.
Alright, I'm
It is
dead.
hot girls cut wire foo fighting. That is the movie. The plot is Eric Roberts invites the world's best fighters to an island. He implants them with nano chips so he can study their fighting styles to create a pair of glasses that will let him mimic all their fighting styles. Because fuck it, that's why.
Hey, if I was gonna make an item that gave me super kung fu powers, it probably would have been rocking shades too.
I probably chose gloves.
I probably would have chosen like shirt or something, but
Yeah.
whatever. But yeah, so the majority of the movie are these characters just having these characters played by like. I remember Kevin Nash plays. Oh, what's his name? The guy who's Hulk Hogan in the games. He's the world's greatest professional wrestler. He's played
I
by
don't know if
Kevin
the
Nash.
Dead Alive universe.
I don't know. But anyway, are we done? I think. I can't think of any more.
I'm out.
All I got is Power Rangers.
And we were specifically
Same here.
What's your favorite Power Ranger series?
For nostalgia reasons, space.
He likes in space. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to say anything other than Mighty Morphin, but honestly,
Rewatching Mighty Morphin, the first season is clunky. Until Zed shows up, it is kind of a mess.
but honestly, personally, I like Time Force.
Time Force is good. Did you watch much Power Rangers?
I watched a bit at first. I started drifting away after Thunderzord stuff, which are my favorite. The second set of
Was
Zords,
Zed, yeah.
Thunderzords. And came back a little for other things like the car series
Turbo.
and the in space stuff, but I completely stopped after in space.
I
Yeah.
like Jungle Fury.
Bug likes Mystic Force.
What?
Mystic Forces.
You know what? It's gotta be a little girl thing because both of my daughters love Mystic Force. We were picking up Power Ranger series and they said, and I quote, "the one with the capes."
Fair enough. Okay.
we're really on Netflix and it had like the line Power Rangers. I'm like, okay, bud, what do you want to watch? She's going to have you watch Power Rangers. She's like, okay. And she goes through and she picks it and goes, I want to watch that one. I look at her and go, you want to watch that one? Because I have 2 action figures of that one. She's like, yeah. I'm like, all right.
Alright.
My
Is
kids,
there a
yeah,
reason there's any?
because they started watching Mighty Morphin. They watched Mini Force, really liked, and I said I got something that's like Mini Force but a little better. So we set them to Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and then they were kind of got into it, and then I showed them the Mega Force Legendary Battle that had all of the Power Rangers up to that point. And they're like, that was amazing. They were so happy. Like, it's every Power Ranger! It's every Power Ranger! Like, alright, let's, since we're done with that, you want to pick a new series? So I searched up Power Rangers. I'm like, alright, pick which Power Ranger. And they both were like, I want the one with the capes. I'm like, that's fair. That's perfectly fair. This should make sense.
The reason I had action figures was because as a kid growing up, I had the In Space action figures. And they all have disappeared and or broken.
Yeah.
The last one to go was the black one, Black Power Ranger, and the reason he broke was because I was sending him into space on like a little seesaw pudding thing. And I was like, I don't want to break it, so I wasn't going to like stomp on it, but I made him like jump up a couple times. My dad comes around and goes, hey, watch this, and he fucking just stomps on it, and it flies up in the sky and just lands right on his leg, and his leg broke off. And I'm like, oh no. So I threw away his leg and kept him for another 10 years.
I used to...
One leg.
My action figures broke. I used to super glue them. So, like, my action figures had no articulation because all the joints were super
So, and then when I was like 10, 12 at the time, I was like, I want more Power Rangers. So I went to the store and bought Mystic Force Power Rangers.
My favorite's Jungle Fury because I like Kung Fu stuff, and Jungle Fury's all Kung Fu themed.
It's a Kung Fu movie, basically. Alright.
As Power Rangers should be.
Yeah, I really started getting away from Power because I used to watch it religiously.
Mm-hmm.
For the first
I
two
think
seasons.
I think everybody of our age did, Jeremy.
But I started getting away from it when a friend pointed out to me that even in the Thunder Zord arcs, that it had just become a series of, okay, here's the monster of the week.
Boom!
Okay.
Explosions!
Monster of the week grows. Rangers come out, summon the Zords, form the Megazord, slash him immediately.
It did get...
That's a very formulaic show. It really is.
No, there was no fighting, no boom, no back and forth, just, okay, form Megazord, Thunder Sword, boom, done.
Alright, you guys might have been teenagers and shit, but I was like this big. So I was 2 years old.
But that's what I'm saying is I think everyone from me, Josh, and Jeremy's about our age watched Power Rangers religiously when we were...
Only reason why I liked it growing up was explosions.
Yeah.
Big giant monsters, big explosions.
And that,
All
I
you need
think
for a 4-year-old
Mighty
boy.
Morphin Power Rangers is the reason I started studying karate, so...
I think...
I have 5 different black belts, so... Says something there.
So I think this discussion of the favorite Power Rangers is a good ending cap for this.
I think so. We might go more into Power Rangers in a later date. If you want it, leave us a comment, because the algorithm likes that.
Yeah, well, the algorithm also likes it when we get more than like 3 views. But, you know.
And not people saying the F word like I have.
I don't know, that might help.
Yeah.
You know what else the algorithm doesn't like? The word coronavirus. So fuck the algorithm. I don't give a shit. The algorithm can go suck it.
Yeah, the algorithm can do all those things.
And more.